Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Hello, all you paranormal freaks. It's the last Saturday of the month, and you know what that means. The veil is at its thinnest. So if you're brave enough, all of you hitchers and drifters, load up for a ride with Golden Jay and Logan as they traverse to the other side.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden Jay, hanging out with
just Logan. So it's the first time in this month that the future the co-host in future goes. So yeah, I don't even know what to say.
I know he's so lost.
It's been so long since I've done this.
Somebody needs to get a hold of Larissa. She should be on here today. She can spout your lines perfectly.
Yeah, no, she's got it nailed. I don't got it. She's talking about my ending lines, which really, I think that it changes just a little bit every fucking time when I say the last one. But yeah, this is the first time I've been on 2-Stop in a hot minute. I haven't been on here since my computer crash. I've been on the Golden 80s before I've been back on 2-Stop.
Well, kinda. We recorded with Golden 80s, but it won't come out till after this episode.
Yeah, that's fair. So Colton's hasn't even got to hear.
Got to hear Frankie Vegas's rant.
Yeah.
His rant, his chant, oh my God, did you say what I think you just said?
I can't wait. So excited.
I'm excited to see what Monday's going to bring for Call Guys, because I called him out on Indiana Chiefs fans today after their Monday, after his Monday spout about me and bass players.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I went on to talk about how bass players are overrated and egotistical, and they're a dime a dozen because they're just guitar players who couldn't make it.
God damn! Doesn't your wife play bass?
Yeah, so does my son, and so does a lot of my friends do. But yeah, it is what it is. We used to spend hours on the old Golden Image radio, like when Fruit Pie was in. That was always the biggest rival when it came to bass players, was Fruit Pie, because it's amazing some of the rants and chants that he had back in the day, because he's heard it all, being in the business and running around in the places that he did, and for him just go off on guitar players was fucking amazing. It was so much fun.
I imagine he would too. That's still one of my favorite things to listen to, is when he was on the Golden Image.
Yep. He was actually on Golden Image where he came in with his son, and then we played back the original Golden Image radio recordings, I think, in one of the flashback episodes. So go check it out, everybody. Golden Image Podcast. Some of those old radio shows are on there. I mean, there's a couple hours of just gibberish sometimes, but man, it was a lot of fun back in the day.
That's what happens when friends all get together and everything.
Right. Well, let me tell you about my evening here real quick before we jump into everything today. So Chuck, who is my boss's boss, but also my buddy that we've kind of done some running around with outside of work. His son, he bought a new guitar for his son. And of course, he wanted to get it restringed, and it's got a Floyd Rose tremolo, which are always a little more difficult. And so I went up to Chuck's house tonight right after work, helped his son set up his guitar and get it ready. And I got a phone call from the rocker chick. It's like, hey, we need some bottled water. Can you swing into the old Meijer and pick up some bottled water? Of course, it took a little bit longer at Chuck's than I anticipated, which was fine. I mean, it's no big whoop. So I'm heading home. Want to get to the Meijer. I need gas in the car, shit like that, before we start recording tonight. And I'm walking through Meijer, and I see this lady just looking at me, and I'm like, I don't have my glasses on because it's easier to read without my glasses or my contacts in. So I'm at a distance, and I see this lady looking at me, and I'm like, I think she knows me, but I'm trying to like place who it is, and I'm looking at her, and she holds her hand out, and she looks at me, and she goes, Shannon. And I'm like, oh shit. So one of our listeners,
nice.
You might remember her stopping in. They'd come in and just sat in. They weren't really on the show. They were just in the background. She was my old neighbor, so it was crazy to run into her. And I just looked at her. I said, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you. And she's like, no, it's okay. But I talked to her for a couple minutes, and it's just fucking cool to run into the listeners while you're out and about. And
that's pretty trippy.
Shannon's a super fan. I mean, she's super excited for the live next week, and they're having a big a Halloween party or dinner with her family, and they're all going to sit around and listen to the live while they're finishing up their dinner.
Nice.
Yeah. So super excited. It was nice to see you, Shannon. Thank you for making sure that I knew you were there, because I was in a zone, man. And I've only like met her face to face one time, and you know how that goes. You don't necessarily recognize people. Only met once or twice.
Well, especially if you can't see because you're old.
I am old. God damn it. Quit reminding me. Oh, and of course, we're going to talk about on the live a little bit more about Para-Unity. We did touch on it. We've recorded the next couple episodes. We did touch on it a little bit, but I know we're going to talk more about it on Halloween live. So, but if you know, Mason and Dakota came down from West Virginia to surprise me and hung out with us at Para-Unity all day.
That's dope.
And it was amazing. That's a long ass drive to come down and support, man. And I loved every minute of it.
That's crazy.
So, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, Mason was in house, was in the studio.
The straw man. That's what's up.
Do you remember way back when we first started and the Apple review come up from the straw man? And I'm like, Logan, we need to make sure we thank everybody. And I think on one of my episodes, I went through all of the names on there, and then he emailed us or something right away. It's like, man, I just heard my name on the radio. Can you believe we come that far with our fans? I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's dope. I'm glad they got to come down and everything. I didn't know that he got there. I seen that you had a surprise party. Like somebody said a surprise. I saw J-Dub's post about surprise party.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I wonder what they're doing.
We had actually, me and J-Dub had, because we all out of Jellystone all together, and she had asked about doing like just a supper together one night before the season closed. One weekend when we weren't busy and they didn't have the kids and all that, and we tried to set something up and it just didn't work between my schedule and their schedule. So she ended up texting me like, I think Thursday, and she's like, hey, since we didn't get a chance, you guys want to go out for supper on Friday night? And I'm like, yeah, where do you want to go? She's like, I like Mexican. So I'm like, well, let's do this at El whatever it's called. And we're sitting there, and she just keeps going, looking at Sean. She goes, what do I want? Do I want tacos or I want enchiladas? And Sean's like, I don't know what the difference is. It all tastes the same. And she's just back and forth. I just don't know. And the waitress is coming up and is like, are you waiting on people? And Jen's like, no, I just can't decide what I want. And so I'm just sitting there perusing the menu. And all of a sudden, this deep voice goes, "Are you going to move over or what?" And I look up, and there's fucking Mason standing there.
That's nice.
So she stalled as long as she could. And boom, he showed up.
That's dope.
Oh, it was so cool. The dude is way taller than I thought he would be. He is a very tall gentleman.
So it happens with people and stuff. Where you get an idea of what they are. Like, I don't have many people at Power Morphicon met me and they're like, "You're tall," and I was apparently everybody thinks I'm short, and I'm like, "Why?" I was like, "Why do you think I'm short?" But like, I only see like half of you, like right? Ever, and I was like, "Well, I'm 6 foot." Like,
well, I'm not very tall. What am I? 5'6", 5'7", somewhere in there. So everybody's taller than me. Except my mom. She's way shorter than me.
There you go. How's your October been? Oh, you're about to ask me.
Yeah, pretty much. How about you? Now that you're up and running, everything back on track?
Everything's going good. Last night, every tip goal that we put up on our Twitch that we crushed, and like the last one I put up was I was just like, "Hey, chat, like I'm gonna put up a tip goal for a tattoo. Like the tattoo is like these little gachizo guys. It's part of the thing we watch and everything." And I was like, whoever finishes the tip goal, I was like, it doesn't matter if like you did 10 here or 10 here, but whoever finishes it can pick which one of these I get as a tattoo. And like it went from being like at $20 to just done just a few minutes into the stream. So like I'm going to get a tattoo soon.
There you go.
It's just but it's been like the least October that I've had in a very long time. It's just not being able to do any of the stuff with TUSOP.
Right.
I haven't really done. Not a lot of companies have done a lot of spooky stuff this year, so there wasn't like me hunting down these products or this or. It's just been, and also my camping trip that we normally do in October, we moved to the like first weekend of like November.
Right.
So like it's not even like that. So it's just that and moving work, you know.
Right.
So it really hasn't felt very October-y for me personally. That, you know, you got stuff like the call guys haven't said anything about a Halloween episode. Like, yeah, just harsh in the buzz.
Well, I mean, this has definitely been my busiest October.
Yeah.
So, Frankie wanted to make sure we were doing stuff for Golden 80s. So we did all the TUSOP stuff. With you being down, I had to kind of hoist the trophy to get everything ready and to go, and some of the stuff that you were able to normally take care of, I had to jump after this round. So yeah, it's just been crazy, and I no offense, but man, I'll be happy when October is over.
Yeah, that's that October burnout. I don't have it this year, but like I normally do. By the end of October, I'm just like, it's my favorite month too, and at the end of it, I'm always just like, be fucking done.
Right.
Just be over with. It just hasn't been that this year, honestly.
Well,
and then I miss it. Like it feels weird.
Yeah, it doesn't feel full. You don't feel full.
Yeah.
Well, you got another week to try to finish it off, man. Go strong. Get after it.
I don't know about that, man.
Speaking of October, today, as we record this, October 24th. It is ISOCam's birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, ISO.
I posted a big old picture of him on United States Paranormal's Facebook wishing him happy birthday. A lot of comment, a lot of feedback on that, which is awesome.
That must mean the call guys are recording right now then. Or have already recorded, because they originally were trying to record with him.
Yeah, it's 8? I think they go at 8:30. So yeah, they should be right about now in this area. I have no idea what they're recording. I have no idea what they're working on. So maybe they'll do something for Halloween. Maybe they won't. I do not know, but they'll figure it out. They did Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I always listen to them on Monday. I'm caught back up now, so like I'm pretty current. And they were I listened to their Michael Keaton one this week. I'm trying to remember what they my top pick would have had the Founder in it, and I think Colton said he hadn't ever seen the Founder, and
yeah, I think he said it was like on his list to watch or whatever. Some Michael Keaton movies that was on his list to watch, the Founder And what Birdman, I think, was one.
Yeah, I've never seen Birdman myself. It didn't look like my kind of thing.
I knew it existed, but I didn't know it existed. See that?
What am I looking at?
My clown.
Oh yeah, I see your creepy ass little clown in the background. All my clown stuff's up. I even disassembled my 7.5 foot clown that was in my hallway for the longest time.
The Killer Clowns from Outer Space one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which J-Dub was shitting on in this week's episode of United States of Paranormal. I was yelling at her. I was yelling at you too, because y'all were talking about Stephen King miniseries, and J-Dub names them off, including Rose Red, and then you're like, what's that one that about all the people in the house and this and that? Yeah. And I'm waiting for J-Dub to tell you. And she doesn't say anything. it's literally the miniseries she just talked about. She said Rose Red, and then you're sitting there describing Rose Red.
Actually, I was thinking of The Stand. It took me a couple days to come up with it. You said
house where a bunch of people died in, and I was like, that's Rose Red.
Did I say died? I thought I said that they all ended up in. I don't know.
I could have swore you were talking about Rose Red, and I was like, "Motherfucker, she just said
it." No, I was on The Stand, and I could not zero in on it while we were recording, and it took me actually a couple days after the episode came out when I was listening back to it, and I'm like, "It's The Stand." That was like a fucking 18 episode miniseries that ran every night for 18 days or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's all they fucking did with his stuff back then. They did it with Salem's Lot and a bunch of other shit.
You know, I have a great deal of respect for Stephen King and his books. I've read a couple of them. Nothing crazy. It's not like I spent, I don't have his full collection, but I've read a couple of them. And the books are usually really, really good, very detailed, very, very entertaining to read. But man, when they adapt it into a fucking movie, they're horrible.
For the most part, yeah. Yeah.
They're just some of the most disappointing fucking movies that you'd ever want to see. And it wasn't because of the majority of the movie. The majority of the movie will keep you involved. It's like they just peter out with their endings in these movies. And it's like, okay, it's like, okay, we did all the fun shit. Now we're just gonna finish it. Boom, we're done.
I think there's not a lot of Stephen King go-to movies for me. I like Christine. I like Maximum Overdrive, both car movies. I like the new Salem's Lot movie they just put out. I thought it was good.
Right on.
But the miniseries, I could up it. I like Rose Red, but like you said, they kind of peter out towards the end, but I'm not a big fan of his. I've tried to read a bunch of his books, but he gets too descriptive, and it can get boring.
Right.
I don't need a whole chapter of him describing the Artie's acne and Christine. It's just holy shit.
I'm trying to think of the one that I read. Something about the eyes of the dragon or something like that. It was a little bit different than his normal stuff, but it was. I read that one years ago. It was really, really good. Of his
Coke books. He's on a fucking Coke bender.
But it was a lot of, kind of that Rapunzel type character where she was stuck in a castle tower, and yeah, it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed it. But I loved him in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, when he was the guy disposing it. Yeah, the cleaner and everything. Good Lord. I'm
rolling up on that trike and shit. It was badass.
I like the stuff he does, but there are also stuff that he does you're just why? It's I don't know if you ever read the actual It novel, but no. That dude's got to be on a list somewhere, because it literally, how it's the story of them as kids and then as adults.
Uh-huh.
At one point in that book, he legitimately has a whole chapter after they fucking dealt with the clown and everything, where all the kids basically bang in the sewer.
Right.
And they're all kids, underage children, and you're like, dude, this guy's got to be on a list somewhere, because this came out of nowhere. It didn't make sense. It didn't drive plot forward. It just was awful. And you're like, what the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck was your publisher thinking? And thank God that none of the movies or adaptions have ever tried to even touch this. Because holy shit.
I thought that was the way they got rid of the clown.
by
something
banging.
by something with virginity. I honestly,
it's just rough. It's bad. It was unneeded.
I got called out by Lance, or maybe it was Zach. I can't remember which one. And I think it was Zach. Zach Thornburg called me out, and he's like, "I cannot believe that you have not watched it, whether you watched the original or the new one." So yeah, I need to put the new one on my list and go watch it.
The new one's solid, man. They had Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things plays one of the kids in the new one, in the first movie. And then in the second movie, they have the adult version of him being Bill Hader.
Oh, right on.
And Bill Hader fucking nails it.
Well, Bill Hader's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so like they had me sold when they're like, Bill Hader's in here, and I was like, fuck it, I'll watch it for Bill Hader.
I didn't realize the second one was already out.
Yeah, they finished those a long time ago.
Right on. Oh God, I'm gonna get called out on that now too. Watch out.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, the Killer Clowns thing where you were trying to remember like if they were rebooting it or what. It was a video game. They put out a video game.
Oh, okay.
And that's what we were all excited about.
Right on. I knew there was something going on with it, but I think it was the Five Nights at Freddy's that you guys were like super stoked that there was going into filming.
That was their putting out the movie for that one.
Did you end up liking that movie or no?
It was decent.
Harsh? Yeah,
it was decent. They're doing a sequel now because it made so much fucking money.
Right.
And they're like, in the sequel, we're going to make it more scary and more adult. And I was like, okay, that was my two complaints from the other one, that it was not really scary. And it was kind of, and I get them aiming it at kids.
Right.
Because like, that's a huge chunk of their market at this point, because it was a horror game. And then all of a sudden all these kids got interested in it. But just crank it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Please and thank you.
Now, are you a fan of the Terrifier movies or no?
No, I don't watch like the murder porn stuff. It's not my bag. Like it's just over the top. We're trying to make people leave the theaters. Violence is like their whole gimmick,
right?
And that's just not my thing. I do like a good horror movie, but like I don't need I don't need their goal to be trying to make me puke or fucking get up and leave. And that's what they pride themselves on with those movies. So like each one of them, they're like, we cranked up the violence even more. It's just not my thing.
Right on.
I know a lot of people like Art the Clown and whatnot. He's not my kind of guy.
He's not my bag, baby.
It's just not.
Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen Slaughterhouse House of Horrors 2.5?
No. No, I have not.
Oh.
Sounds like the kind of movie you would find in like the bullshit bin at an old fucking rental place where they're like, hey, at 99 cents, take this one home with you.
It's the one that you're going to find in that back room that you're actually afraid to go into.
Yeah.
Not because it's the porn section, but just because there's still cobwebs on the fucking door frame.
Everything kind of smells like mildew.
Yeah. And there's some strange, weird-looking person standing in the corner going, "You want to watch this movie?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You're gonna like it."
Yeah.
Oh no, but that's the AC McRae movie that we had as in our clown movie list. That I wanted to make sure that was on that list because I knew he played it and he played a quote unquote clown. So I love that shit.
Ugh.
Not that I've seen it. I just heard about it. I'm sure I can find it somewhere in the Tromo archives. Like I said, I don't even know that was a Tromo movie, to be honest.
I don't mess with the Tromo movies myself. It's not, like I said, it's just excessive gore and blah.
They're a little over the top. But...
Yeah, that's an understatement. That's a fucking understatement.
Oh, but yeah, we're wrapping up Halloween. We're wrapping up Clowntober. Like I said, on Thursday, we are going to be live. I'm really excited, but yet nervous. I don't know how the Riverside Live is going to be, but I'm kind of pumped up for it. So hopefully it'll go well. We'll have a link, hopefully, on our Facebook page. I think I got it set up and the link made. So and got it scheduled for 7:30 on Halloween night. Of course, that is Eastern time.
Eastern.
Yes, not Central time, or Mountain time.
Fucking time zones, man.
Why can't we all just be on the same time?
Oh no, I stream at 8, and then a lot of the people that watch my stream are in California, so to them I'm streaming at like 6.
Right.
You know, like a reasonable time. So I guess that works out for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane how it works out with the whole time
thing.
Yeah,
because I think the people that watch me on the East Coast are like an hour ahead of me, so I come on at 9 for them.
Right.
So it's all over the place.
Yeah, you come on at 9 for me. Then the few chances that I get a chance to jump on there and watch, it's usually after. It's about 9:30 when I jump in. So yeah, a little bit later in the evening, but it is the time. It's a time thing. It is what it is. All right, man, you ready to get into this?
As I will ever be, sir.
All right. Getting into Clowntober review.
So we started off October at Clowntober with episode 151, The Histories of Clowns, and John Wayne Gacy. On October 2nd, the rocker chick dove into the history of clowns, which there had some emailers make the rocker chick sad.
They did.
By coming at her sideways.
They were picking on her.
Should feel shamed.
I think Lance told me he did feel shamed after that.
Yeah.
Listen, you know, the basis of the episode was about the history. John Wayne Gacy was just kind of that last little whipped cream cherry on top to explain where the evil part of clowns really began, and the fear of clowns and the serial killer portion of clowns began. It wasn't about John Wayne Gacy, and those guys know that.
Yeah,
we've talked about it since the episode come out with them. They get it, and we're gonna work something out where they're gonna get a shot at really explaining their views on John Wayne Gacy, because a couple of them believe very heavily that he was not the full blown murderer of all those men. So
that is a take.
It is a take.
That is a very is an interesting take there. Yeah, it's not. At the end of the day, we're not murder nerds. Right. She just wanted for y'all to know, like, this was like the tipping point in clown history where people are like, maybe clowns aren't so fucking funny. You know, John Wayne's funny enough, John Wayne's ghost is said to haunt multiple places. One, the house, and two, like the medical ward of where in the hospital or in the prison that he died in. They say he haunts there. They say he haunts his cell. You know, just like a smattering of like Gacy sightings. There's also a Gacy House movie about the ghost of John Wayne Gacy that is a funny watch. It's just not a good movie. It's about a bunch of paranormal investigators going in the Gacy house.
Okay.
And when we sat down this was back when Netflix was relatively new, and Xbox had this thing that was called like movie theater, where you had your little avatars would come sit in like a movie theater seat next to your buddies, and you could all watch Netflix together.
Okay.
And we picked this movie. We're like, sure, let's watch it. And we all picked a person in the movie who we thought was going to survive, who we were rooting for. And I picked a guy that was doing solid throughout this whole movie. And then it's the last 15 minutes of the movie where shit's going off the handle like any other ghost movie. And the guy I've been rooting for, he's like just out this door. And all of a sudden, his feet get pulled out from under him because Gacy's in full swing, and he hits the ground. I'm like, no! He's got my boy. And I was like, and then he proceeds to pull my boy's pants and underwear off of him and drag him into the next room, and you just hear screaming. And I was like, not only did my guy go out, but he went out in the worst fucking possible way he could. I was just out. I was like, I'm tapped out. I'm done. Oh man, it literally just jerks his pants down and just rips him out of the room. And I was like, oh man, I put my money on the wrong horse.
Yeah, that sucks for you.
Yeah, that's a bad way to leave this world.
Oh,
they couldn't have just killed him. They had to go that extra fucking mile.
Well, do it upright.
Yeah. Ooh.
So wrong.
But yeah, it was a funny movie to watch. So if you ever anybody wants to ever check it out, I think it was called The Gacy House, and it's literally just about paranormal investigators being in John Wayne Gacy's house.
Interesting. I honestly think I want to watch that Dahmer versus Gacy. It just sounds like a really bad B movie that.
Oh my god, that
I
sounds
might enjoy.
horrible.
It does sound horrible.
Jeez.
We'll see if I get around to it. We'll see. You never know.
But Gacy's who we based our clown on our suit.
Yep.
Like I had Esteban. I was like, just like take Killer Clowns from Outer Space, kind of, and just mush it with John Wayne Gacy. And he got it right away. He was like, oh, I like this. And he turned it out, and it looks horrifying, as always.
Yep. Yeah, Esteban does some great work. It's a great logo. Rocker Chick and J-Dub rocking it out at Para-Unity.
Nice.
Both of them had their Clowntober shirts on. Of course, I went old school and went more Dolltober, but hey, guys, that merch is still available on the store. You better go get it because it's going to be gone in just a few days.
Yep, at the end of October, it all goes away again. So right now you have a chance to get Vamptober, Dolltober, Clowntober, and a few other Halloween-based things. So definitely go check them out while you can at the United States of Paranormal .com.
But yeah, so the history of clowns I thought was really, really interesting, though. I mean, I don't know that we necessarily kind of pin those things together with the court gestures and, the idea of where all that stuff came from and back in the medieval times, even, Yeah. And I thought she did a really good job putting all that together. And even though people made her sad, it was still a really good piece. So yeah, good episode.
Next episode would have been episode 152. J-Dub did freak shows, where she took you through the history of freak shows, talked about some of like the more like high notarized members of the freak shows. I can't remember the names of them, but they're all well known. I mean, even in the Greatest Showman, the Hugh Jackman musical that is about Barnum and Bailey's circus.
Right.
They have a lot of the characters she talked about portrayed in those movies because most of them ended up working at Barnum and Bailey's, including the bearded woman she talked about, the world's smallest guy, the world's tallest guy, et cetera, et cetera. And like for being considered what they were back in the day, being considered freaks, they were more wealthy than most normal people by a large margin.
Right.
So those people got to like, oh, go look at them, look at those freaks. But at the end of the day, who's fucking laughing?
All the way to the bank.
Yeah, it's like, sure, I'm fucking 3 foot tall, but I could buy your house 5 times over. So
right. I think the big one that was the end, kind of that ending one with the lobster boy or lobster man, and just how violent he was and how angry he was. And the big thing was for me was like, if you're so angry about what the world has dealt you, why do you keep reproducing and doing that to your children? It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I think like the fact that a lot of these are mutations and stuff, just something with your genetics and everything. And clearly it was a dominant trait because his kids kept getting it.
Right.
But like, it made me wonder if it is like, it didn't end there. Like, was there like a gene in there too that messed with his brain? That made him like prone to violence. Because I mean, it seemed like his family in general, even the other ones, kind of were messed up.
Yeah.
So like, it just makes you wonder: is it like they got that trait, the lobster hand trait, and then also like some kind of fucked up brain? Who knows?
But yeah, it was a lot of fun to go through. While she was actually doing the episode, I had to look a lot of those up because, I knew of them. It wasn't like they're a big secret, but just visualizing them, some of them was like, oh, wait a second, I gotta look these up. So I got to go along. I think, wait, do I have a list here? I might have a list here of what she went through. No, those are just names. Pinhead was one of them. The Frog Boy, Grady Skiles, and the rest of them were actual names, not their freak show names. Yeah, sorry, might have jumped the gun on that one a little bit.
Like I said, it was a really interesting story, and it's something that I've been interested in before. Like I said, there's a lot more to these people than them just being like a sideshow attraction at the fair or the circus or whatever, because like they all, for the most part, end up living together, and a lot of them were really pleasant, and did stuff that like impacted the world. Like I said, made fuck tons of money. So
I thought it was also interesting that a lot of them didn't want to do it at first, and then once they started doing it, they just stuck around for years and years.
Yeah, they're like, money's good, I get to hang out with like-minded people.
Yeah.
Why not?
Absolutely.
And I said, and if you got into Barnum and Bailey's, like, they took care of you, so, like, and it seemed like that was, like, the one that scooped a lot of them up.
Yeah, I think they even kind of stole some of them away from some of the other smaller circuses at the time. Or made up their own. Didn't they?
Yeah.
What was it? Was it a bearded lady they kind of made up that actually...
Well, no, it was, I'm trying to remember, it was the girl that had 4 legs.
Oh, that's right.
Another circus, like a lesser-known circus, was like, try to get her, and they're like, no. So then they just like slapped fake legs on a lady and was like, hey, check it out. The fact that lady, like, I looked at pictures after listening to that because I was like, that's insane. And then that lady went on to have children naturally. Yeah. And you're just like, wow.
How did that happen?
Yeah, it makes you wonder about how it works, because it's like they straight up said that she had 2 of everything down there.
Right.
So you're like, how does it decide what's going, like what child's coming out what? And like it's a whole thing. It's just confusing.
Conception, I think, would have been confusing too, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, I'm sure whatever, like, I mean, it was like, well, let's see. It's like, okay, so you're 3 weeks pregnant. Which pair of legs did I go at 3 weeks ago? And we're like, we're going to go with that one. We're going to go, that's where the baby's going to come out of.
Yeah. Boom.
But she lived a long life. She had children. Like, that's surprising.
Yeah. Yeah, she was quite old when she passed away, wasn't she?
I think she was in her like 70s or 60s or something like that. So she lived a good sized life, especially back then. And especially seeing how, like, you would figure there'd be some medical issues with that, but they were like, nah. She was like, other than like these 2 legs couldn't support everything, she had to use these other 2 legs. It's like, that's fair.
Yep.
That's fucking wild. The fact that like a human being can be born like that. A lot of conditions are just insane that a human being can be born a certain way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And survive. And some live for a long time. Just trying to think. I bet pooping was an adventure.
I just don't know how. Like, I legitimately, like, I just don't. They don't get into it, so you don't know. Like, they said there was multiple of everything.
Right.
But, like, I guess that doesn't technically mean they're all functioning.
That's true. That's true.
Because maybe like, I mean, if she had 2 sets of intestines, I'm sure they would have mentioned that, right? Because that would be fucking crazy.
It's true.
So maybe, like, one side, the plumbing just didn't work.
It just shut down, but it was there.
But, like, you figured, I'm sure there's got to be, like, her doctor had to take medical notes. Because I know that J-Dub said that the doctor that, like, had some notes, the one that, like, birthed her children, took some notes on it. And I'm sure, like, hell yeah, there's a medical journal out there just full of, like, today I delivered a baby out of a woman with 2 vaginas and 4 legs. And you're just like, as a doctor, you got to figure, like, you're like, I'm getting a fucking Pulitzer Prize or whatever the fuck.
Right. That's true. Getting a Nobel. I'm getting a Nobel.
It's sad, though, that her family had to bury her in concrete just to make sure nobody fucking stole her body afterwards, so.
Yeah, 100%.
Could you imagine someone knocking on your door and be like, hey, when you die, I want to stuff you and put you on my porch for people to look at you. You good with that? And be like, no. Fuck off.
You'd be immortalized.
I mean, yeah, but God knows what's going to happen to you throughout the years.
That's true. So, are you going to get to come in out of the rain, or are you just going to get weathered?
Oh, God. You're horrible.
Hey, listen, man. You know, these are the things you got to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, those freak shows. J-Dub did a great job. It's always interested in looking into that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
You picked a more recent topic for your episode 153 on October 16, the 2016 Clown Panic, which really doesn't seem like it happened that long ago.
Yeah. The dates floored me, and the fact that even earlier than 2016, things were going on, and it, the kind of groundwork for all that was taking place. 2016 was just when they kind of hit the height in America, in the United States. So
yeah, I got that press circulation, which just made more people do it, more people cover it, more people making videos out of it.
Absolutely.
It became a whole big fucking thing that ended up making McDonald's pull Ronald McDonald from the lineup because they're like, people don't like clowns no more.
Yeah. Remember how big he was growing up?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking they killed decades and decades of an advertising icon just by being a bunch of wanks in clown costumes. And it was happening everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it happened here in our little town of Etna Green, where somebody would just stand up there at the park and just watch people drive by and wave at them.
No, sir. I'd have to beat some clown ass.
Like I said, I seen it myself in person too, driving back out of South Bend. Just somebody standing there on the side of the road in between a couple cars, just because it was a one way. You could only drive one way down this road. Mm-hmm. So, there was no off traffic or anything like that. It's just, you're right there, and there he was, just waving. So it's fucking creepy as shit.
It's unsettling.
It is.
It's just, you don't expect to just see like a rogue clown in the middle of nowhere. It triggers something inside, I think, like every human, to where they're just like, no. This ain't right. This ain't natural.
No, it's definitely not natural. And now you still see it on TikTok and Reels and shit like that. Some of these people that are in like parking garages that come out of from around the corner in full blown clown outfits or even something else. I mean, it's not just all clowns anymore, but man, people are lucky they're not getting killed pulling these pranks.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because somebody's going to
stabbed or shot or just beat to death, especially like just showing up in people's property or scaring somebody at night or God knows what. It's just, you're rolling a fucking dice, and y'all are just lucky you didn't run up on the wrong person or
right. Well, and I do believe that one person in 2016 was killed. I still do not know whether he was
the clown or the person that happened upon the clown.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't know. But I mean, in all that situation of all that bullshit that was going on at that time, there was only one death. And I mean, I guess we should say we should be grateful for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Honestly, I have figured more people would have like plugged clowns, especially since people started being like, let's go find the fuckers.
Yeah. And was it Penn State that did the
clown
group?
Hunt? I think so. Where the one guy was like, oh, that motherfucker and his clown lives matter. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Hey, clown lives do matter.
Oh, good Lord.
There's nothing like staying original.
If that's your worst problem, is that you don't feel like you can go out in your fucking clown makeup because somebody's going to get you, like, check yourself. There's worse problems to fucking have.
Well, that's just true.
Maybe don't dress up as fucking Bozo today, you know?
I got nothing, man. That's how I'd feel about it. If you're afraid to go out in it, but yet you still have a job where you dress up as a clown, dress up as a clown when you fucking get there.
Yeah, maybe don't fucking hop in your Honda Civic all fucking clowned up and drive 45 minutes to work and then be like, oh God, I don't know if somebody's going to beat my ass. I'm like,
yeah, what
just
did I
do it at work? Or like talk to your boss, be like, hey, how about we pivot from clown this year, seeing how, clowns are getting the shit kicked out of them. Like, what do you think? Maybe I'll just be like a weird, scary redneck or a witch, just like something else.
Yeah. Let's try something different.
Definitely don't hop online and fucking start the Clown Lives Matter movement, because that's just going to get your ass kicked for a whole bunch of other reasons.
I'm sure it did. It did. But there's also some sort of clown association group too. I didn't know that the National Clown Association.
Listen, we just stay away from clown associations altogether because we got the Juggalos out there. There's a while on Facebook for some reason, and Kayla would laugh at me when I just pointed out like where it would be like groups you might be interested in, and it was Honk Haven, and it was just clown ladies, and it was for people that were into clowns. I was like, what in the fuck is this? But Facebook was like, hey, you wanna, you feeling a little honky? Come on over here. And I was just, it was bizarre.
Is that like a furry thing? People are into clowns?
Except it's just clowns. Like you just want to bang clowns or be banged by a clown. Different strokes for different folks. Whatever floats your boat. Just
absolutely.
Do it inside,
What happens behind your closed doors is strictly your own business.
Whatever fucking happens in your fucking clown car stays in your fucking clown car,
You hear that, Frankie?
Yep, there you go. It's wild.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. All right, let's get on to the next one. The one that I had the most fun with during the entire Clowntober, and we had great episodes. I'm not saying that, but this one was, it was a pivot because you couldn't make the show.
That was episode 154, clown movies.
Yeah, it was so much fun, dude. It was so much fun. The rocker chick did the 0 to Z list that she had found, and God, there's a lot of clown movies out there.
People are fucking scared of clowns.
Yeah.
That one of the movies that got mentioned was like House of Thousand Corpses again, because Captain Spaulding's in it.
Right.
And I legitimately had to stop what I was doing when I was listening to the Call Guys because like ISO popped in an email and was like, Colton, I've got some movies for you to check out. And he mentioned that movie. And I dropped everything I was doing. I was like, Colton, do not put this movie on in the Keel household. Like, because one, Colton doesn't like horror. Two, my man is a buttoned up, like straight laced, God fearing man. And I was like, you out of all people in this world do not need to watch this movie. It's written and directed by Rob Zombie.
Yep.
It is. I don't know how to describe it, but like it is not a Colton Keel movie in the slightest. And if he put it on his house and just tried to start it, he would be writing ISO so fast.
Yeah, he spun him in the wrong direction on that one.
Absolutely.
I agree. Colton needs his horror really, tamed down. So, he can have a nice Halloween horror movie, but not be like, this shit is going to keep me up for 4 days. I'm not sleeping because, yeah. And in all honesty, and I'm sure Colton understands this, anything with Rob Zombie's name on it, is going to be over the top.
Yeah.
And I know people love this movie, especially the horror movie community that all bands together and does things together. I mean, it's going to be a staple in the Halloween gore fest for as long as it keeps going. And Rob Zombie deserves it. I mean, he is a hardworking son of a bitch. Period. He's always doing something, whether he's directing or working his band or whatever. But
always finds a way to shoehorn his wife into it. 112%. No matter what. He put her in the Munsters. He put her in Halloween. He put her in House of Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. I think she's in every single movie he's ever produced.
Do you think she likes it?
I think she loves it.
Exactly. It's kind of like Alice Cooper's daughter, who does a lot of the shows, a lot of his concerts and stuff, and she just loves doing it, and the theatrics of all of it. I'll tell you what, man, I ain't never fucking freaked out in my entire fucking life like the moment he slit her throat on stage. It looked so realistic.
Ugh.
It was insane. But, that was his daughter, and they do things together like Zombie does with his wife. So, more power to him.
Yeah.
I like doing stuff with my wife.
Yeah.
Podcast, bands.
It was a fun episode. I liked you guys going down the list, talking about movies, reading off synopsises for movies. Everything was pretty fun, other than Jen shitting on Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Is it just because they're aliens? Because they're aliens?
Yes, that's it. You know that. Well, they're alien clowns. I mean, the two things that she
fantastic. I just love my campy horror movies, and I don't know that you can get any more campier than that. So, that's good stuff.
Yeah, she's out of her comfort zone for Clowntober, trying to do clowns and stuff like that. So, yeah, you throw in a little aliens on top of that, and it just gets over the top. So, I've never seen it, buddy. I've never watched it. So
it's fun. I think it's an '80s movie too. So you might be fucked.
Oh, I might. Yeah. Well, yeah. Seeing as how you guys got me watching Halloween 3.
Fantastic movie.
Fucking shit not. that movie was terrible.
1988, buddy. 1988.
Oh God, are you texting Frankie right now?
Oh, I will. The Chiodos brothers, man. Fantastic movie.
Oh man.
Great. It's back when movies got a song written for them.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you just you got Pet Sematary, the Ramones. You get the Killer Clowns has its own song. We had Who Made Who for Maximum Overdrive.
Fast Away doing Trick or Treat.
Oh, absolutely! Just all this fantastic shit. My 5-year-old constantly in the car asked for Killer Clowns. She was like, "Can we play Killer Clowns?" She loves that movie. Her sister hates that. Her older sister hates that movie because of it. But my littlest loves that movie.
Right on. You're mini me, pretty much.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, the synopsis and the girls playing the game and trying to figure it out just made the episode a lot of fun. We got a lot of comments of people just said they really enjoyed just the funness of it, and just that we were just kind of just sitting around fucking we were sitting around the table drinking, just talking about stupid movies, and everybody trying to guess who it is and guess what it was, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
It was a good time. And I think that's why people are excited for the live Halloween event, because it's just going to be you all just sitting around doing what you do best, just sitting there talking to each other, having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we can get done with the live and see who's going to join us for that. It'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting. I just don't know what to expect. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best, because that's what we do.
That's all you can do.
Yep, pretty much. So
it was a short month for review-wise, though, because it's really just 4 episodes.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much. Pretty much, like I said, we get the extra day. So everybody who's listening today, remember that on Wednesday there will not be a new episode. The episode for this upcoming week is going to be the live episode. So tune in on Thursday night at 7:30 Eastern as we go live, and then I will repost that as soon as I can, so it flips around. So in case anybody does miss it, you're going to be able to rehear it. But that'll be the episode for the week.
Also on Thursday, if you're out there listening to stuff in the Golden Image land, check out the Golden 80s. They'll have a Halloween episode with me on it, talking about Halloween 3, and then they will have a bonus episode for This Day in Music.
Yes, October 31st. What was that? 1980? I think it was 84, but I'm not 100% sure. We got it recorded early so that we'd have it, but yeah, you get 2 episodes of Golden 80s on Thursday, the 31st.
Yeah, and we had I had a blast recording both episodes of the Golden 80s. I recorded that night, but the Halloween one is one of my favorite Halloween movies for sure. So definitely go and check it out. We have a blast.
It is. It's a lot of fun. We talk a lot of shit. Talk a lot of shit about that movie.
And I still love it. I will.
Titties in the mouth.
I will
Titties
absolutely talk shit on that movie, but like I love it to death.
All I know is that I made the rocker chick sit down and watch it with me, and she's like, "I think I've seen this, and it was terrible." And then we finished. She's like, "Yep, I saw it before, and it was terrible then, and it's terrible now, and I fucking hate you for making me watch it."
Oh man, I watch it every year in my house. Absolutely, I watched that. I watched Monster Squad, which is the Monster Squad. Is that an 80s flick too?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think back. It might be a 90s movie.
Let's see.
1987,
man, baby.
Is it 87?
Next year for Halloween. I tell you what, you're gonna be fucking hearing on the Golden 80s.
The Monster Squad.
That's a fucking good movie. That's another one with a fucking awesome soundtrack.
Right on.
Yeah,
that's animated, right?
No, it's live action. It's like the Goonies.
Oh, that's the one. He kicked him in the nards.
Wolfman's got nards.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, it's like the Goonies meets like
the Munsters or the Addams Family.
Yeah, it's so good. God, it's so good, and it just got a great soundtrack.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
That's a good one.
I was hoping to have some downtime to kind of catch up on a couple of these things, but looks like I'm going to have the grandkids this weekend, so no downtime there.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah, insane and crazy insane. Well, man, I mean, there's the review.
It's a quick one. I feel like it went by quick.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about nothing but clowns, like there's only first of all, it's hard to find clown cases.
Oh, man.
And then, like, there's only so much you can say about about clowns, man.
Yeah.
They're creepy. They started off as, like, a perverted, like, adult humor thing. Then they pivoted to kids, which is all weird all on its own. Now they're back to being scary.
Yeah.
Who knows? Just bring Ronald McDonald back. That's what I'm waiting for. It's been long enough. Fucking bring the clown back. Holy shit. You brought back Grimace. He got his own fucking milkshake. Bring back Ronald. Holy crap.
It's true. It's true. I'll tell you what I did have today, though, Logan. I had myself a Krabby Patty.
Was it whelming? It looked whelming.
It was whelming.
Yeah.
Actually, the special sauce on it was decent. But that little pineapple frosty thing that they got going on, yeah, that's pretty fucking tasty.
I went to Wendy's the other night too for something special, but mine was Halloween related. They had the boo bags they put out on the 21st.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which just came with like a special little like frightful frosty figures is what they're doing this month for kids.
Right on.
Where they're just like little frosty people, but they look scary. And they're like on the 21st we'll have an adult one out that comes with an exclusive figure, and I was like, bet your ass I'll be there.
Did you get it?
I did. I got him. He's sitting on my shelf. I went to Dunkin' Donuts the other week for their little Halloween bucket they're doing that came with like 50 munchkins in it. Today I went to McAllister's Deli, got their Witch's Brew lemonade and some trick or treat cookies for the kids. Their is a caramel apple lemonade, and holy fuck, you should not ever drink anything that tastes like caramel. I took a sip and I was like, holy fuck. And then bought up a bunch of the Scooby-Doo has frozen food now, which like you figure they would have marketed some kind of food for Scooby-Doo well before 2024, because I mean, it's Scooby-Doo and food, like it's hand in hand, right? Itself. Yeah. But now all of a sudden we have Scooby-Doo stuff in the frozen section at Walmart. So I bought up some of those for the kids.
Nice.
Like I said, my spooky month doesn't feel so spooky, but you know, it is what it is.
That's all I got for you, man. It's been nose of the grindstone in the studio, working on everything, getting things set. Hopefully I'll have something for our Patreon viewers. I'm a little short on what exactly I'm going to have, so bear with me, guys. I love all our Patreon users, and I'm doing my best over here, but it's been such a crazy month that I don't have anything necessarily put together, so I'm hoping that by the first, you'll get some new November content. I have stuff, but I want to make it. I want to make it great, and so you're not going to get the investigation just yet because I'm working on trying to make it as great as I possibly can. But I'm hoping that I'll have some Para-Unity stuff up, because I shot some video when I was down there, and hopefully I can put together the St. Louis Cemetery stuff. And the New Orleans stuff that we did when we were down there. So
nice. Yeah, that's all content I'm sure people will be thrilled to see.
Yeah.
I mean, also, we got, did you guys record or take pictures, or like, what did you guys do at Para-Unity? As far as like, did you take any video content or?
Yeah. I walked around and filmed everybody that was there. Talked to a couple people, just said hi, introduced myself. Got some of those on video. But that's pretty much it. There wasn't a ton going on there, and not as they did it in two different buildings, and there was a bunch of vendors. But once again, it's that. How do I put this? You had some investigators. We met a really cool author, who's going to come on the show. He's looking forward to doing an episode with us. We met some investigators, but a lot of just trinket stuff, people just selling trinket stuff. Some of it spooky, some of it not spooky. So, yeah. So yeah, that's what I got. And it's not going to be a ton of stuff from Para-Unity, that's for sure. But
yeah,
you get a chance to see what our table looked like. I shot video of that. Shot video of Jen and Bobbi and Mason all sitting back behind there, and that's pretty much it. But I'm going to try to get it put together and get it put out for November so you guys can see that. That's the plan anyway.
Gotcha. Everybody make sure to check out the Patreon. If you're not a member, absolutely hop in there. There's some great content. Check out the merch before the Halloween merch is gone at theunitedstatesparanormal.com. Check out everything else under the Golden Image. Or why do I say Golden Mojo?
Golden Mojo.
Every time. Golden Mojo Entertainment umbrella. Check it out. Definitely check out the rest of the Halloween content for this month. The live on Thursday. Golden 80s is doing Halloween stuff on Thursday and their this day in music.
Yes.
And maybe the Call Guys are doing something spooky next week. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe they are. We'll see.
I'm sure they'll have something figured out.
I think that's all she wrote. I think that's all we got. So. We'll see you on October 31st.
Yeah.
At the live.
Yeah.
After you're done trick-or-treating, come on by. Check it out. Get spooky with us.
Yeah, please do. Come in. Just say hi. Jump in. Just say hi. It's all we're asking for. We're not trying to upsell you anything. We're just having a good time.
It's a good time.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Let's get out of here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen out there in podcast land. I know a lot of you are scared of what happens when you die, but don't worry. Because it's just me and Golden Jay waiting for you on the other side.
Later.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal podcast. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com, where you can find our Spotlight of the Month, Fan of the Month, and all of our amazing merchandise. Or you can find us on social media at Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795. And don't forget, we are now on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/2sop.
Please check out the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, Golden 80s, The Gridiron Kings, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze, all of which can be found at goldenmojoent.com or wherever you stream your favorite podcasts.
And if you have a location or a story that you would like for us to check into, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen. Thank you for all of your support. Bye.